Salt Dough Garden Bunny. For this project, you will need the following supplies: water, salt, flour, parchment paper to bake your salt dough in the oven, a garlic press. It's fun to have some sort of a sculpting tool that creates a ridge, paper clips. You can use a toothpick or a sculpting tool as well. An assortment of paints. I have green, orange, yellow, red, white, and a brownish color for the bunny. The ratio of salt to flour is 2:1. So we're first going to mix together 4 cups of flour and 2 cups of salt, and then we'll set it aside. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to mix paint into your dough, so you don't have to worry about painting after you create your salt dough. We're going to mix some yellow and some white for the dress. Mix together the paints, put some water in, and then add your flour and salt mixture until the dough becomes the consistency of Play-Doh. If it's too sticky, add some of the flour and salt mixture. If it's too dry, add a little bit of water. Knead the dough together and then put it in a plastic bag and seal it so it doesn't dry out. Wash your hands, clean your surface, and you're ready to begin with the dress. I like to roll a small ball of dough out. And if it sticks to the table, you can add a little of the flour and salt mixture underneath. Roll it out thin. And then we're going to add some pleats in the dress by folding the dough over. Place the dress onto the parchment paper. It's important with salt dough not to move it a lot once you get it placed on the parchment paper so it won't crack. We're going to use 2 small balls of dough for the arms, or the sleeves rather. Roll them into cylinder shapes, and then we're going to glue them with a little mixture of our flour and salt and water. Now take the end of the paintbrush and create 2 holes in the end of the sleeves, and that's where you're going to insert the rabbit's hands or paws. Now we're going to work on some lace. I've mixed this salt dough with white. You can add some scallops. Glue the lace onto the dress, and then I like to add a little bit of indenting. Next, we're going to work on the bunny's apron. Add some pleats at the top, and then sculpt the apron so that we can put vegetables inside. Glue it onto the dress. And lastly, we're going to create a petticoat underneath the dress. This is the same process. Glue the petticoat underneath, and then you can add some sculpting to make the petticoat appear that it's lace-like in properties. For the bunny's face, we'll take a small teardrop of dough and we'll indent the nose and the mouth. And then glue it on to the top. Next, we're going to work on the hat. For the hat, you want to take a small ball of dough, roll it out, and then if you have some kind of a sculpting tool to create a zigzag, it's fun, but you don't have to do this. Add a little bit of your paste and lift the head and set it underneath. And then fold up the edges. Take 2 small balls of dough and create the ears. Indent the ears with the edge of the end of the paintbrush and use some paste to glue them on the top of the hat. Now take 2 small balls of dough for the front paws and then indent them. You can use a simple paper clip opened up to do this if you don't have any salt dough sculpting tools. And lastly, we will do the feet. Indent the toes. Place a paper clip into the top so that you can hang your bunny. And now we're beginning the vegetables. We'll start with a carrot, indenting the carrot, and we're going to glue this onto the hat. We'll also put a couple carrots into the Salt Dough Bunny's apron. Now use your garlic press to create some of the greens that go at the top of the carrots. I've mixed other paints ahead of time into the dough, and we're going to do some tomatoes. Take your paper clip and indent the top of the tomato. And then place it in the apron as well. Now I've used a few of the little tiny portions off of cloves for the top of the tomato stems, but anything that's similar will work. You just want to create a stem-like appearance. Lastly, we're going to do a cabbage. So we have a little bit of a mix of a yellow-green dough, and we'll fashion some leaves around the middle part. Pinch off the end so that you can nestle the cabbage into the apron. Bake at 170 degrees for several hours, and then flip over and bake until the back is firm. After baking, we're going to add some rouge to the cheeks. We'll use a micron pen for the fine details of the eyes, and some clear glaze after everything is finished. Just take a Q-tip and create some rosy cheeks. You can also do this with a little bit of diluted red paint. Draw the eyes on in the eyebrows. You can also dot the cheeks with a little bit of white paint. Now I'm going to add a little bit of sculpting, a little accents to the cabbage with some green paint. This is optional, of course. And once your bunny is dried, then spray it with varnish and you're finished.